All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Kakadash.
Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well.
That's
Peace,
right.
love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth.
That's right.
Okay, today we want to go into a quick lesson entitled "The Beauty of a Woman Does Not Outweigh the Duty of a Woman," which I had heard this earlier when I was listening to. It was a guy on YouTube that make various videos. Sometimes he do it with his wife, and they, he basically just kind of break down different videos going into the modern day woman or the mindset of the modern day woman. I believe I know his YouTube handles is Honest or Donest, but I can't remember the other. It's like Honest or Donest something else. But
I think I've seen him before. Him and his wife in the car together.
Well, they at different places. Most of the time he be at his house, but I think they probably have done something in their car before too.
Yeah.
But when I heard that, I was, at first I was like, man, that makes sense. It kind of resonated. But then it made me think about the scriptures in Proverbs 31. Primarily, favors deceitful and beauty is vain, which we're gonna read down to it. But I'm gonna start at verse 10 in Proverbs 31, and I'm reading in the AMP and kind of jump back and forth. But like I said, the beauty of a woman does not outweigh the duty of a woman. So just because you're beautiful, just because you might look good or whatever the case may be, you have women in the scriptures that look good, that look beautiful, and they still, serve their man. They serve their husband, as the scriptures say, and that's what a woman's supposed to do.
Yeah.
You can say something?
Yeah, I was finna say, Yahweh Shai made some beautiful women. Yeah, he did. Then, you got some that's not so beautiful. But if the one I would take, it would be the unbeautiful. If she got a good spirit, know how to humble down to a man, and what most women talk, would be thinking that serving a man would be wrong. But if she know I'm a man, I'm leading her to victory, yes, that's the woman I'd rather be with, because she got a beautiful spirit. It ain't got nothing to do with your looks. And a lot of women think it do, but it don't. I'd take a ugly woman any day. As long as she got a sweet spirit, she know how to treat me and respect and be humble to me. Yeah, she my princess.
This is Proverbs 31 and 10 in the AMP.
Right. An
excellent woman. Well, I read the KJV and AMP. KJV first. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. And in the AMP it says, an excellent woman, one who is spiritual, capable, intelligent, and virtuous. Who is he who can find her? Her value is more precious than jewels, and her worth is far above rubies or pearls. Which, that's the famous scripture, Proverbs 31. Who can find a virtuous woman? Which that's extremely true. That was even true back then.
Yeah.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
It's hard to find one these days in time.
Right, the modern day woman, they are not built to be wife material. They're not built to be virtuous, and that's why during the time of even Isaiah 4:1, because there's gonna be an abundance of women searching for the trying to get with the men of the Lord, but only the women whom the Lord has chosen will be the ones that pair with the men of the Lord. Now, they've already been chosen from the very beginning of the foundation, but the men of the Lord is still gonna do the choosing. He's gonna do the picking. As the the elders and apostles say, the brothers say, the ball is gonna be in our court. So we gonna be the ones that make the decision on if we deal with you or not. And we ain't just dealing with no woman just because of her looks. Cause like the brother was saying, it's gonna be women that look good, that's trying to get with the men of the Lord in the times to come, and it's gonna be women that's not as attractive trying to get with the men of the Lord. But it's gonna be judged off of your spirit, on how willing you are to serve the men of the Lord, and not only willing, but also too how the Lord is gonna give men of the Lord the spirit of discernment, and then He's gonna level it up, because I ain't saying like we don't have it now, but it's gonna be leveled up to another degree, to where you're gonna be able to discern if this woman is really the type of woman that needs to be with you.
And then another thing, it don't matter how she look. It ain't gonna matter in that time how she look, how beautiful, how built that she is. What it gonna matter that she got a humble spirit and she willing to do what you ask. Cause Yahweh Shema Shai already said we're gonna get new bodies. So don't worry about how she look. Cause she gonna get a new body, you gonna get a new body. So hey, all that to come.
Verse 11, the heart of her husband trusts in her with secure confidence, and he will have no lack of gain. She comforts, encourages, and does him only good and not evil all the days of her life. So it's going into how she lives amongst him, how she deals with her husband. She serves her husband.
Right.
She comforts him, encourages him, because this is what a man needs. This is a part of the duty of a woman. Why you were created.
Right.
To comfort your husband, to encourage him.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is gonna have his back like you will.
Right.
Oh, I take that back, Salakia, because you got the brotherhood as well. Yeah. But it's a different dynamic when it comes to a man and a woman. It's a whole different feeling between a man and his wife.
Right.
To have his back and encourage him, that boosts that's like another level that boosts, because you have a different bond with him. It says she looks for wool and flax and works with willing hands and delight. She is like the merchant ships abounding with treasure. She brings her household food from far away, meaning how useful she is. She's capable of doing multiple things.
All right.
She rises also while it is still night and gives food to her household and assigns tasks to her maids. And this lets you know too, this is how women are supposed to operate. You're supposed to have handmaids.
Right.
You're supposed to have women under you that assist you, in order in the household. That's how it was in the ancient world, and that's how it's gonna be in the kingdom.
That's right. We're gonna have service. Yeah. And I ask you to do something. Yeah. You serve me. You gonna have service to serve you and do what you asked to do. Is they gonna go in harmony? Don't no man want no bitter woman. A woman who shot John all the. We don't want that. We just want a beautiful, spiritual woman. It's just like you said, brother, just like diamond and gold, because she's sweet. And you don't get all that flap behind that. And what's that scripture? I think you brought it up last time. A simple woman tear her clamorous, she tear her house down.
A simple and clamorous woman?
Yeah.
Or a clamorous woman?
Yeah, tear,
You talking about, hold on.
She don't build, she tears down. Them type of women we don't want. Yeah, we're looking for, princess. Gonna with respect. We're gonna treat her with the same respect. Cause we got to serve our master, will be Yahweh by Shema Shai. We got to serve him. So,
I got you.
You find it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Proverbs 14. But it's two different ones you're talking about.
Okay.
Let me get this one first.
I think this clamorous woman tears her house.
But
simple way of it.
Yeah, it's this Proverbs 14:1. It says, "Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands."
Right. We ain't looking for them type of women.
Right.
Them not the type of one we looking for. We looking for somebody that's gonna have stability and they gonna build.
Right, like I said, she's a wise woman buildeth her house, because your man he is your foundation. Right. Without him, you can't establish anything.
Right.
That's why so many women wondering why there's no men around, and why they're not really happy in life, because they don't have their foundation, which is their man. Our foundation is Yahweh Shai.
That's it. That's our foundation.
Yeah, we're nothing without. As I'm talking about men, we're nothing without Yahweh Shai.
Nothing.
So with the women, you need a man, and a wise woman will build up her man. You'll build up, you will help him build up his establishment, so that y'all can thrive. But like you said, the foolish woman, she plucketh it down with her hands. You will tear down you will tear down your family.
Yeah.
And destroy your whole household. Don't you understand that your lineage, not lineage, because man has the lineage, but you come back through your man, or you come back through your line. Your father's line.
That's right.
Because for a man, that's why it's imperative for us to reproduce, because we understand first and foremost reincarnation, but two, you come back through your line, your lineage. If you're not, just say, just like for Esau, he's gonna be eradicated after 1,000 years when after his slavery starts.
Right.
After that, it won't be no more Edomites because there will be no more Edomite man.
Yeah.
So even if it was Edomite women still alive during that time, they wouldn't be able to come back because they are Edomites, and they don't have no men to bring their nation back. Mm-hmm. So after they gone, it's over with.
It's over with.
But we understand that, and the thing, how our women need to understand. Right. In order for you to come back, you need a man.
You need a man. That's the only way you're gonna make it through. You got to have a man through childbirth. You're gonna have to have a head.
Yeah, because you bring back the seed. Right. Well, he plants the seed into the through sex. We understand this, and the seed comes out of you as a child.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of women. They ignorant say Jesus, is they man. No, you ain't gonna be able to make it wherever they Jesus. No, you gotta come through us. Same way we gotta go through Yahweh Shai.
It says back at Proverbs 31:16, she considers a field before she buys or accepts it, expanding her business prudently. With her profits, she plants vineyards, fruitful vineyards in her She plants fruitful vines in her vineyard, going into again how because like the brother just mentioned, every wise woman buildeth up her house, So this woman is going to be useful in building up the man's enterprise, or assisting or adding on to this man's enterprise, to her husband's enterprise. Because again, it's going into the characteristics of a virtuous woman. She equips herself with strength, spiritual, mental, and physical fitness for her God-given task, and makes her arm strong. Because a woman that's working, women tasks typically requires them to be. It's gonna require you to move. Cooking, cleaning, washing. You have women that like to be out in the field gardening. All these different activities, or sewing. All these different activities. It will have you, like you said, your arm strong. It is gonna have you in shape. Doing various activities. It don't take much. It's just like with a man. A man could be working a job. He don't have to work out. He could be working a job that requires him to move, certain items, or do things repetition with items that's kind of heavy, and his arms will start getting, start tuning up. Or toning up.
Yeah.
It's the same with a woman. Because again, you got women that like to garden or like to work out in the field, doing different things, and it'll tone you up. Like I said, she equips herself with strength, spiritual, mental, and physical fitness for her God-given task. Your God-given task is to serve your man.
Serve your man.
So and that comes in many different shapes and forms. Every household is not gonna be the same.
Nah.
But you're still gonna be doing the same thing as far as serving your man.
And since since we've been in Great Babylon and the land of our captivity, and I know our women have strayed so far off, but you gonna come back in reality. What it's like to be a princess of the Most High, same as the men are, the prince. You gonna come back in tune. The hopeful leg women, they already getting ready for it. They know who they are, but hey, they gonna serve well, and serve just like we gonna serve well up on Yahweh Shai, cause we ain't gonna let this happen no more.
Right, because the Lord ain't gonna let it happen, because He gonna give, like you said, He gonna give us some new bodies. We ain't gonna ever go off again.
We ain't gonna never go off.
It says she sees that her gain is good. Her lamp does not go out, but it burns continually through the night. She is prepared for whatever lies ahead. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle as she spins wool into thread for clothing. And that's another thing. Women, you have women that know how to knit, know how to sew, make clothes. Different things, or because women are creative just like men. So it's different things that women know how to make. Pottery. I can't think of everything off the top of my head, but it's different avenues that women get into that they know how to do. And this is just what some of the characteristics of a virtuous woman would be doing for her household.
Yeah, and you got a lot of women today really don't. They don't even know how to sew. It's very few women that sew a butt. You know, I was right over there in the foundry, and you know, the older lady. You know, I'm knowing that she probably has some grandkids. You don't see the older, you know, coming with the older lady like a young lady taking up the cloth what her grandmama did probably the last 40, 50 years since she been on earth. Right there in the front. Ain't no young woman taking up there. Cause our women today think that's a neat thing. You know, sewing. You know, it'd be nice to have a woman know how to make, you know, options, you know, clothes or blanket, you know, at home and stuff like that. You say, baby, can you sew your butt? You ain't got to take her to no sewing place.
Yeah, I was about to say, a lot of women, they don't have no one to teach you.
Don't have nobody to teach them.
And then too, because of the curses and the dynamics that our people been under.
Right.
You know, the previous generation or this generation on down being raised by single parent households. So now, instead of the women staying at home or being more at home and being able to learn and get into activities like that with the children, they at work or working 2 jobs.
Right.
You know, or doing whatever they doing in the world.
Right.
You know, so they don't even make time for that no more.
No, they don't. They don't have time for it.
You know, how Esau Edom got everything set up. It says she opens and extends her hand to the poor, and she reaches out and fills her hands to the needy. She does not fear the snow for her household, but all her household are clothed in expensive scarlet wool. She makes for herself coverlets, cushions, and rags of tapestry. Her clothing is linen, pure and full fine, and purple wool, going into clothing, you know, being able to make clothes. Her husband is known in the city gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes fine linen garments and sells them, and supplies sashes to the merchants. All of this is building up that house. So again, she's just being beneficial to her household, to her husband, to her family. You know.
And back in the day, you know, go back, you know, just say 60, 70 years ago, you know, women know how to make all, you know, fishy things like when they had it in their garden, you know, like jam and stuff like that. You know, you don't even see women selling that. They don't even, you know, they, like you said, they ain't got nobody to teach them how to do that. You ain't want nothing raised in the garden. A black woman had in the garden that she had peaches jam, strawberry jam, you know, anything, fig jams and stuff like that. You know, all kind of provider stuff. That, you know, our women don't know that no more. They ain't lost it.
Right. It says strength and dignity are her clothing, and her position is strong and secure. With the strength and dignity, it goes into the characteristics. So, because this also goes into 1 Peter chapter 3, where Peter was going into the characteristics of a woman and how she should be, especially being submissive to her husband.
Yeah, you can't tell them women that how they, you know, supposed to be. They'll look at you crazy, ready to argue and fight. Then when you telling them, correcting them, they'll try to tell you how a man's supposed to be, what they think a man's supposed to be. How, you know, how you gonna tell us our role? We know our role, but y'all forgot y'all role.
Strength and dignity are her clothing, and her position is strong and secure. And she smiles at the future, knowing that she and her family are prepared. She opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. It says giving counsel and instruction, you know, especially to her children, you know. She looks well to how things go in her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. So again, she ain't lazy. She ain't, you know, because a lot of women, and this ain't to say that women don't get tired. That's why you need servants under you, you know, to assist you and help. And then that's why polygyny is a major thing within, well, this is a major thing, I was gonna say in our culture, but in general, you know, a man having multiple wives, because now he has multiple women being able to do things for him to assist him, and it ain't all got to be pressured on one woman. You know, the Lord didn't set it up to where one, I mean, it can happen now, don't get me wrong, it can be like that, where one woman, you know, and one man, but that man typically he's gonna want to deal with multiple women.
Yeah.
And it works better.
It works better.
Having multiple women being able to do multiple things, and then you have servants under you. That's how Jacob had it set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leah, Rachel, and two handmaids.
Yeah.
You know, so they all had different roles, different tasks.
Yeah.
But they always considered his wives, even though the other two were concubines.
Yeah.
Secondary wives, as it's also called.
Yeah.
Read that again. She looks well to how things go in her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. It says happy, prosperous, to be admired. Her husband also, he praises her, saying, many daughters have done nobly, and well with the strength of character that is steadfast in goodness, but you excel them all, which is going to go into why. And I'm going to read this in the KJ, well, read it in both. KJV first, then AMP. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Going back to the title, the beauty of a woman does not outweigh the duty of a woman.
Right.
Charm, now this is in an AMP. Charm and grace are deceptive, and superficial beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord, reverently worshiping, obeying, serving, and trusting him with all feel respect, she shall be praised.
That's right. That's a beautiful thing that a woman serve. You know, Lord have a lot of respect for the Lord. You do that, have respect for the Lord, serve the Lord. She going automatically humble down to her Lord will be the main.
Right, because fearing the Lord is keeping the commandments.
Yeah.
You know, it's the beginning of wisdom. You know, that goes for women too, just like it goes for men.
Right.
You know, and also fearing the Lord is serving your man.
Serving
you know,
your man.
It goes well with you.
Yeah.
And then the Lord, which I probably ended on that. Ended on this. This is gonna be Sirach chapter 26 and 20. Is it 23? Yeah. Sirach 26 and 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So a godly woman, which also ties into Proverbs 31 and 30, is a woman that also fear the Lord too. Right. And you're gonna be given unto a man that fears the Lord. Y'all gonna complement each other.
Right.
You know? Right. But again, favor is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth Yahweh Shema Mashah, she shall be praised. So the beauty of a woman does not outweigh the duty of a woman.
Right.
You got anything else?
No, bro.
The Lord willing, that was edifying. So on that note, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing his word, sincerity, and the truth. Shalom right. To the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping his word, sincerity, and the truth. Until next time, shalom.
Shalom.